Your perspective dictates if you will make six figures. These simple perspective shifts in this video help me earn more, live better, and be happier. My whole life I've been told you go to school, you either graduate or you take apprenticeship, and then you work on a job. And over the years, you slowly climb up the ladder, and at 65, you retire and you can start enjoying life. And as an immigrant, this is how the good life's supposed to be. Who am I to challenge that? Am I ungrateful? These were the exact thoughts that I had. And despite all of those thoughts, I still took the traditional path, but I was never fully satisfied. So many years ago, I worked as a shoe seller and I was just getting by, but I always thought there is more to life. And I started to see on social media people that were living this digital nomad lifestyle, and it was very attractive and appealing. I saw people hanging in Bali, traveling around the world and having some kind of online business. And back then in 2017 or 2018, I didn't know what this online business thing is and if this is possible. I thought these were scammers or just people that were lucky. And at this point, I had even more doubts about my career. And as I read more books about entrepreneurship, personal development, and how to go about finance, I started to realize that this is not the path that I want to take, and I had to find a way out. So I started researching different online ventures like blogging, Instagram pages, and so on. And I tried different things. I had an Instagram page with 30 posts and a blog post with only one post, and I was trying different things while working on my low-paying 9-to-5 job. And as I got more exposed to this online world and this idea that you can live life on your own terms in the future, I took the hard decision and I quit my job without having anything lined up. So the idea back then was to fully dive into this online entrepreneurship thing, figure things out, learn what it is about and which path I could take in the future. But then my plans were disrupted and I was forced to take a different direction. So instead of giving up, I had to become more practical and actually face reality. And that reality was that I had no job. I was actually in debt after some months of trying to figure this thing out while having a global pandemic and all of that stuff. But the one thing that was clear to me after dabbling with different online ventures is that sales and persuasion is a crucial skill in the future. So a few months later, I started my corporate career in sales without having any qualifications at all, but I had the escape plan in the back of my mind. The first 3 months into my corporate career, I made no sales. I had a horrible start and I was full of self-doubt. I had so much pressure, not only from my boss, also on myself, because I was working so hard and I really wanted to make this work because I knew sales and persuasion and all those skills that I can learn in this corporate job will help me in my entrepreneurial future. I was many times so close to sealing the deal, but then things will come up and they will reject me. In this difficult period, I got reminded of the book Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl, where he said something around those lines: you can always choose your attitude. And this was a real game changer for me, and it really empowered me to take back control over my life. So I could either choose to be a pessimist and let this self-doubt, lack of sales and all this pressure crumble me and give up and then going back to my old ways, or I can choose the path of the optimist and start to see things differently. Because in the book, Viktor Frankl describes the worst human circumstances that you can ever imagine. They were in concentration camps for many years, and some companions of Viktor Frankl were quite different. They were unshakable despite all of that, because they understood this. Everything can be taken away from you, but one thing, you can always choose your attitude to any circumstance. So after that perspective shift, I got my first sale. It was a 15K sale, and after that, the belief was broken. My belief that I can't sell was gone, and the sales were coming in. 3 weeks later, I had my first 50K deal, and it was going on and on. And by constantly choosing the right attitude to go to higher levels, I soon became one of the top performers in my company. And then luckily, I received over 6 figures in commissions, and I was free to now pursue my entrepreneurial path. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video so far, let me know in the comment section below. Now, there are 3 major perspective shifts that allowed me to earn more, be happier, and really level up my life. And number 1 is what you perceive as reality is not always the truth. Now, this might sound crazy, but let me explain. Our perception, the way we perceive the world, oftentimes limits our ability to level up in life. For example, if I was never exposed to entrepreneurship, digital nomad lifestyle, or however you want to call it, I would still be stuck in an unfulfilling career. And just because people say it is not possible to live a life of freedom, happiness, and really living out your purpose, doesn't mean that it is true. Always question your assumptions, because most of the time, our assumptions are wrong. They are based on societal programming, what the government wants us to believe, maybe also some traditional beliefs that are not accurate anymore, or also your own experiences and the people that you hang out with. Those people, they are not bad, but they might not see reality the way you want to see, because the truth is this: the masses have been convinced and hypnotized to believe that the traditional path is the only way to live, and everything outside of that is risky. Perspective shift number 2: educate yourself to break free from ignorance. Unfortunately, I learned this way too late in my life, so real education starts outside of your work and school. Education takes many forms. For example, books, videos, courses, mentors, and reflecting on your own experiences. And what I learned so far is that great education oftentimes is very contrarian. These are typically not the books and insights that you get from traditional education. So reading the great books, studying the great people in different areas of life, and taking advice from successful people, people that have gone that path that you want to go, is really the key to shift your perspective. Because once you shift your perspective, your ability to level up in life increases dramatically. Not only in making money, also in happiness, fulfillment. And perspective shift number 3, I already touched upon this. It doesn't matter if you are in the most challenging and hopeless circumstances, you always have the ability to choose your reaction as a human being. You can always react how you respond to that situation. Now, this doesn't mean that you will just become an optimist and everything will be fine. Of course, you have to suffer. There are people that are suffering in this life, and sometimes you have to suffer in life too. That's just inevitable. But choosing your perspective, the right attitude, will help you overcome this, because the sum of our choices will determine the quality of our life. So we have to choose carefully. Either we are pessimists or optimists. So far in this video, we have talked about how your perspective can dramatically alter your life in many areas. Next, I want to watch you this video next. It is a very important video because I go about how you can find your life's purpose in a systematic way using the Japanese framework Ikigai. It is a very concise video with a lot of practical exercises. So if you haven't watched already, I want to see you in this video. If you found this video valuable, let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and I see you in the next one.